So today I'll be telling you guys the dark side of owning a Samsung television in general. Doesn't really matter if it's a QLED or QD OLED or even their OLED. There's a dark side, and I'm here to just rip the band-aid off and tell you what it is, okay? Updates. Now, I've been talking about this for many years. Smack like on this video. We're just diving right in, getting straight to the point, respecting your time, okay? I don't like when people filibuster and like really take too long to spit it out, right? So we're just going to say updates are your biggest detractor with Samsung, period. Because you'll have a phenomenal TV. I think the first time I've experienced this was in 2018 with the Samsung the Q8FN. So 2018's Q8FN was one of the best TVs I've ever seen. Updates lowered and lowered the performance. Brightness was missing. You know, it started off at over 2400 nits and then it went way down to like 1600. The disrespect is just massive with that. And then I got the S95B, and the S95B, I still remember it so fondly. The day one patch, the best TV still to this day I've ever seen in my entire life. Gorgeous, beautiful brightness, highlights, color that just is so unexplainably good. Like you couldn't, you're like how was it that good? That's how good it was. And they issued a patch, and then it became less vibrant. And some people said it was because of filmmaker mode and they were trying to be more accurate and follow the EOT, whatever. I can't even think right now. I get so mad just thinking about it, right? I get so mad. I really do, because I really loved that TV. And the fact that they ruined it really, really ruined things for me. If you can't tell, I'm very sour about it. And then it's just, and yes, I know it's the EOTF, okay, PQ curve. For those who are trying to dock me in the comments already, don't. I get flustered. I'm human too. I get very angry about certain things, and that S95B, right in the heart, right? But then now fast forward to 2024, and here I am again. The S90D got a nerf, and it had similarly beautiful highlights. The color's still gorgeous, but the highlights were like that. The contrast was amazing, and they took some of that away to the point where it's not only noticeable, but now the S95D, which was not pulling ahead at all, is pulling ahead in pretty much every comparison I've done with the thing. And that really puts a sour taste in my mouth, because if you go back and watch my prior videos on it, documenting it, I showed in real time, like the S90D spanked the 95. This means that Samsung's updates aren't really updates. They just upgrade you to downgrade you, essentially, from my experience anyway, where they promise an update, you get all excited, and they take things away. Take things away. Hell, I remember seeing this back as far as the Samsung JS7000, if you would believe. That TV started off having, like, when you snapped into HDR, the HDR logo would pop up in the top right of the screen, and then an update happened, and then that went away. And now you don't know when you're in HDR, when you're not, and things got weird. You know, things like that. Samsung KS8000, that's another TV that got an unnecessary nerf. And it gets to the point where, through the years, since, honestly, 2015, now that I think about it, I have been running into Samsung nerfs again and again and again and again. And it gets to such a point where you have to say that is just the darkest side of owning a Samsung product. They are gonna go in and they're gonna fuck some shit up. They're just gonna do it. It's like they can't help themselves. And nobody's gonna call Samsung on it. I'm sorry, but they're like the too big to fail. I think their CEO was like in prison, and they let him out because he makes up like 30% of South Korea's GDP, okay? These people are literally above the law and way too big to fail, and no one is ever going to do anything about Samsung. Never. But that being said, maybe you can do something to protect yourself by maybe just buying a different brand if it really comes down to it, because I can do these reviews all day, every day, and I can open up a Samsung S90E and go, wow, this is the best TV I've ever seen. And then months later, they ship them, so you don't even have to update it, by the way, for people like, I'll just stay offline. Well, you have to buy it day one, so you need the full, think of this, you need the full retail value they were asking for day one to see the day one performance I talk about and others talk about. Otherwise, later on towards Black Friday, like now, towards Christmas, you're going to be getting the updated, patched, nerfed version of these TVs because, you know, you didn't fork out the full price they asked for, so you're not getting the full TV. That's how they do you. And I've put that correlation together, and it's to the point where it's like, I can't honestly say that that's not some really shady shit right there. Again, people have called them Scamsung because of this. People get very angry. Now, to be fair, Sony is equally notorious for destroying their TVs with updates. I've had so many hard times, particularly back in 2017 with my X930E. For those of you who've been watching me that long, you know what that was like. And don't even get me started on that customer service staff. Still remember today how disrespectful they were. The reality of the situation is buying a TV is not an innocent act. It's not you being happy about your purchase and going in there and buying something that's going to hold the testament of time. Oftentimes, if you don't know to stay offline because they put all these smart features in to tempt you, well, guess what? You're going to be led astray, and you're going to be the one going down to the store trying to get your RMA or your refund or whatever they can do for you just to kind of be disappointed in the end, singing the song that so many in my comment section sing, "Never Again." So save yourself the trouble. Always keep your TV offline, and if you're going to buy a Samsung, buy it at launch or not at all. I feel, unless you have like something like the S95D, where people have come out and told you after patches it's actually gotten better instead of worse. But until you get that all clear, I would not just run out and buy a Samsung, because as you can hear, the darkest side of a Samsung and owning particularly any Samsung are the updates. That being said, I want to know what you think about this in the comments down below, and if I've missed something, let me know. Thanks so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.